the most pressing need of the school system to be?
I would say that the schools need to train our children where they'll know right from wrong. And there is a lot of children that are dealing in drugs or taking drugs, because I've got some experience that at my house, a stepdaughter that's about 40 years old, that she probably can get drugs wherever she wants to, but we have the problems. The law enforcement, they are cracking down on them, but there's still those out there that are not being caught. It's because people will not inform on these people. And we need to keep this stuff out of our schools, I'd say, and to keep the dropout level at a low level, which I think it's on its way down now. Thank you.
Thank you. What do you view as the most pressing need of the school system to be? I believe we've addressed that as a board. We addressed it for several reasons. Number one, our parents told us we needed a new facility. Our kids told us we needed a new facility. We looked at the facility. We reviewed the facility. We asked for feedback. We had outsiders to come in and share with us and with the community. We've had task force. We've had after task force since 2003. This is 2014. It is time. It is time. So the number one is facility. The high school is the main focus. 6 years ago, when I stood over on Davie Academy, and they asked me the same question, I answered it the same way. I've been here 6 years, and I'm working, and I still want to work for it. Once that facility is new, once we brought in a recreation bond too, that builds that side of it, oh, wow. Davie County becomes a destination, not just a small county. The economic growth, what we can give our children, what we can give our grandchildren, what we can give to every citizen in this county, it's right out there. It's right out there ready to touch. After we get that, after we've touched that, and we are on the move, after May 6th, and we have the new facility getting ready to go down the road, oh, what great things we will do. Oh, what great things we will do. That comes from Dr. Seuss.
I would say, sadly enough, the most pressing, I may rephrase this a little bit, the most pressing issue at this point is dealing with our high school issue. It has plagued us for far too long, and this facility issue has created divisiveness in our community. It has taken a lot of effort that could have been put into making Davies County schools even better, even better than it is. It's really a shame that we haven't dealt with it by now, quite frankly. But I would say that's the biggest issue at this point, obviously.
Well, 38 years, the school system has had trailers on the Davie High campus. 38 years. That's a long time. Well, why now? Why hadn't something been done 30 years ago or 20 years ago? Why didn't we change them? We do have to have change, but we have to have responsible change. Yes, we need a new high school. I'm all for that. But we have a few issues that people really don't understand about building a new high school. It's going to be 3 floors with elevators if the bond passes. What is the downside to that is if we have a fire, how are we going to get the kids out in a safely, timely manner, as opposed to a 1-story building or a 2-story building? Go back a few years, look at West Forsyth. They had an overcrowding problem. They built 2 2-story buildings. Now they've got a state-of-the-art facility. About 5 years ago, y'all did some renovation at the high school. $2.5 million. I don't know what it was spent on because I wasn't involved in it. But it was said that we have a state-of-the-art facility now. Why 5 years later that we don't? As I said, 38 years they've been trailers on that campus. 2 years ago, we talked about renovating. That was a great idea. As soon as the election was over with, forget about it. No more renovation. You know, everybody wants to go push for the new high school. What happens if the bond doesn't pass? There's no plan in place. I will have a plan in place if I'm elected on the school board. In any situation, any issue, education, discipline, or if we need more teachers' assistants, we will find the money for them. Thank you.
Well, everybody seems to be focusing on the building of the building as a pressing point. Let me say one thing first. When you have these things and you don't have them all, sometimes you miss things. I miss that I'm a member of Bethany Baptist Church. Most people seem to think that the pressing issue is the new school. Well, okay, that's the hot item on people's mind right now. Check the signs, check the papers. What is the purpose of the Board of Education? What's the last word in there? Education. When was the last time you went to a school board meeting and they actually discussed education? When did they actually discuss the 3rd grade reading test, that other than to be concerned about a law that came out of Raleigh, which I definitely agree with changing. It was crazy. We need to worry about education more than we do brick and mortars. Yes, we've had 2 failed bonds, and we've had one that went to Raleigh. They tried to go around the voters, and they've all failed. The Board of Education has always had a plan B. If it doesn't pass, wait 4 years and do it again. Complaints have been made about the condition of Davy High. 2 days after the bond fails, everybody on the school board is all hot on, yeah, we're going to renovate, yeah, we're going to do this. It's yet to be done. When this one fails, that's the same thing. Unless you elect people on there that can take over the majority and start a renovation project. They were offered money by the commissioners 2 years ago. Had they accepted the offer had they kept the offer that they accepted one time and then backed out of it, there would already be a building in place and the mobile units would be gone. Yes, Davy High needs work. It needs assistance. It needs upgrading. Not for $54 million or a total of $77 million. We need to go back to education. The 3rd grade reading test has ballooned into its own existence. Children that have trouble reading at the end of the 3rd grade, those children can be diagnosed or picked out as by the 1st grade teacher, by the 2nd grade teacher, by Christmas of that 1st year. When are we as a board going to address that situation and help those kids? Those are the kids that are going to be moving into our secondary school and our high school. That's where we need to spend a lot of our time, and we're letting those people fall through the cracks. So, to answer the question, the most pressing need is education. It's a focus on education by this board instead of focusing on a building. Thank you.
Again, my name is Jeff Plott. Very good question. It's sort of like my brother Ben Mace here. It's how do you narrow it down to just one? We've talked so much about facility needs, and everything seems to be focused on Davie County High School. As I told you before, as a parent of 3 children in Davie County schools, I spent a lot of time in these schools and their schools. But also, not only have I been to Knoxville Elementary, South Davie, and Davie County High School, I've also went and seen every school in Davie County. And when we talk about facility needs, the little studies here just a few years back showed that we had over $85 million worth of needs across the board at all of our schools. Folks, to me, it's troublesome that we have board members that have been on board for 6 years and we have $85 million worth of facility needs and nobody's upset by it. Because we've got to take care of these schools. Our schools are in shambles. They've got to be taken care of. Our high school has needs? Yes, it does. South Davie has needs. Knoxville Elementary. Cooley has needs. Palm Road, Shady Road has needs. William Davie has needs. We need to take care of all the needs across the board at all our schools, and we've got to find a more fiscal conservative approach instead of just throwing money at everything. Our school system has a job and responsibility to properly maintain our schools. Yes, they're going to tell you, well, we spent X amount of dollars doing this, X amount of dollars doing that, but they didn't spend enough. If your roof leaks, you fix it. If the toilet don't work, you fix it. At my child's schools, they have told me that their classroom for one of the toilets didn't work for over a year, or the water gun didn't work for over a year. Things are not getting fixed. Our school board has a duty, they have an obligation to properly maintain our schools. How can we have $85 million in needs? And you can tell me they're doing their job. Folks, this is about accountability. We have to have, our school board members have to be held accountable, make sure that our school administration is doing their job, and that is taking care of our schools and providing them schools to make sure that they're safe. It's troubling. It's very troubling. It's frustrating to see everything focused on Davie County High School. We do have an issue there, and again, our school board continues to have this Plan B that we're going to keep voting on it and keep voting on it until I guess they get the answer they want. But we need to take care of Davie County High School. There is a Plan B out there, and we should take care of that. Build a new building on that campus. Take care of it. Get rid of those mobile units. Incorporate science labs into that new building. Take care of the cafeteria needs. Take care of the gym locker room needs. And we'll solve that problem. Let's go to these other schools. We've got mobile units at South Davie. South Davie Middle School has trailers, and when it rains, the water's down right underneath those trailers. There's cracks in the outside walls of South Davie. The locker room at South Davie's a mess. We've got to take care of our needs of our schools. I'll end it right there. There's plenty more to say.